Hello everybody, my name is Wes and welcome to the 44th edition of the BS Podcast. This week I've brought in a returning guest, returning from episode 23. I said he'd be back, and it may have took longer than I thought, but I got him back. Please introduce yourself.
Hey guys, it's EvertD. Some people know me as Evan, some people know me as Ginger. Yeah, that's pretty much all I'm able to roll with there. I don't know what else to really say about myself.
We last talked on the podcast in, I think it was May?
I think so, yes. It's about
Because it was you, me, and Court, and that was a fun time. I remember you streamed it that night.
Yes, I did. It was
How
fun.
has streaming been going for you?
Streaming's been going really well, actually. I used to be like a Dead by Daylight gameplay channel, but there's only so much you can really do with Dead by Daylight, and not a lot of people like to watch it, except for like a very selected few in a community, and it's just really hard to like build that up. So I've actually transferred to streaming Nintendo games. So I stream a lot of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Mario Kart, Mario Maker, soon to be Luigi's Mansion 3, which I'm going to start practicing for speedrunning after I play the game a million times. It's going to be, we're also going to be playing Pokemon Sword, the new Animal Crossing, and Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games Tokyo. So we're getting a whole lot of...
This sounds like the gold mine if you're a big Nintendo fan.
Absolutely, man. I'm stoked for it. I love Nintendo games. I didn't think I'd be able to switch to being a Nintendo channel, but it was fairly easy just being able to rebrand myself since I didn't make any emotes Dead by Daylight related. Sometimes we still do a Drunk by Daylight, which is where I'll have a set rule for drinking some alcohol, and like every time I make like a 4-stack of Group Survivors DC, I'll take a shot because I play really toxic when I drink. If I die on hook, I take a shot, and so forth and so forth. So, but mostly Mario Maker and Smash right now until those new Nintendo games come out.
Which Nintendo game are you most excited for?
Oh, hands down, Luigi's Mansion 3. Hands down. I grew up on that game on the Nintendo GameCube, and that's all I ever played. I still own it. I haven't played it in such a long time because I have it sitting in storage, and being in college, I only have so much room in the dorm rooms, and I can't put my entire collection with me right now. But Luigi's Mansion 3, it just looks so fun. There's a multiplayer mode. There's just so much being added to it that I'm really stoked to see.
Yeah, when you were talking about Luigi's Mansion 3, and in my head I'm like, I don't think that game has come out yet. I know Pokemon Sword hasn't come out yet, and Animal Crossing, I'm pretty sure that's a soon thing, or a recent thing.
Yeah, Luigi's Mansion 3 is the first of the 4 to come out. It comes out here in about a week and a half, actually. It comes out on the 31st. Oh. It comes out on the 31st.
Happy Halloween.
Technically 2 weeks from now, I guess. 13 days. 13 days. Lucky number 13.
The luckiest number.
Absolutely.
I think that's a Thursday.
Yes, it is. Thursday the 13th. Thursday 31st, day 13. From today, with the recording, of course.
Very fair. It'll go up on the 19th, so 12 days from when people hear this. If people listen on day 1, you know. But, something else I want to ask about Nintendo games. Are you fearing weary on Pokemon Sword and Shield this year, or are you just excited as any other Pokemon game?
I'm just as excited as any other Pokemon game because the last Pokemon game I played was a handheld, and it was Pokemon Platinum. I haven't my on the DS, on the DS's, my favorite was Diamond because I played that one the most, and that was my first new one. Being always being a game collector, I did play a lot of Fire Red, so that one holds a very special place in my heart. But I've never played a newer one. I didn't play one on the 3DS. I used to have a 3DS. I didn't like it. I only bought it to replay Majora's Mask, and then after that, I was like, this is just giving me a headache. Yeah, I know you can turn the 3D setting off, but even after that, I wasn't too crazy about it. But now that I can have a Pokemon game on a home console that actually is like more in depth, closely related to a Pokemon game, other than OK Eevee or the Pikachu one, I wasn't too like stoked about those. But this one's like an actual Pokemon game.
Yes, and I see a lot of people that go back and forth with it. I feel like I can't wait for the game to actually come out so I can hear people that have played the game and put many hours into it give their opinions on if the game is above average or about the same as the other Pokemon games, which isn't a bad thing. You don't always have to be on the rise, as long as you just keep up what you're doing.
I feel like as long as you just like sit it out through any game, you can find some enjoyment of it. But I've definitely had those games that I have not liked whatsoever. So I feel if those just aren't your type of games and you've never liked them, you probably never will like them.
They need to come out with a good Pokemon mobile game. You have Pokemon Go, which is fine, but I don't really travel, so Pokemon Go is wasted on me.
They do have Pokemon mobile games. It's called a Game Boy Advanced.
They do. That's very fair, but that requires you to spend money.
That's fair. Okay, download an emulator onto your phone. That's how a lot of people
play. That's also fair.
That's what a lot of people do. As long as you're not running an Apple, you can easily download an emulator.
But I'd like to play a current Pokemon game on my phone. And there's Pokemon Masters that came out this year, but Pokemon Masters was very unimpressive to me, both visually and how it played. It wasn't the experience I was looking for in my Pokemon mobile experience.
That one really didn't call out to me either, so I really didn't do anything with it. I didn't even want to try it because I just was afraid that I'd get too irritated in comparing it too much to like what I was anticipating it to be.
See, on the topic of Mario, Animal Crossing, and Pokemon, I tried all those mobile games. Mario Kart Tour, I really enjoy that. I play it at least an hour every day. Cause there's a ranked cup, and you in the top 20 thing, and I'm dedicated to not losing.
Well, see, like, does it still have like the Mario Kart aspect to it? Like, you don't know whether or not you're gonna lose because like the RNG. Because like Mario Kart, it does take some skill, but like one single item can change the entire freaking outcome of the game. Like you'll at one moment you'll be right in front of the finish line, getting ready to get first. You get blue shelled, you get turtle shelled, and next thing you know, you're in 8th place.
Yes, this has happened to me many times. Now, the only thing with Mario Kart Tour right now, and when people hear this, they immediately are disappointed and they're distrustful. Multiplayer is incoming. This is literally a feature. There is already a button for it in the app, but it's coming soon. Should they have released it with multiplayer working and available to everyone? Most likely. But in the meantime, I'm entertained enough. So.
Well, see, I feel like part of it too, like looking at it from a business aspect, a lot of people forget that Nintendo is a business. And I know it's like such a weird statement to say, but not a lot of people look at gaming companies in a business aspect and that they're trying to make a profit as well. So releasing it a little bit early and allowing people to like start spending money on the things that they can make in-app purchases for, is extra revenue for them. I don't know if there's any ads in the game or if it's entirely ad-free, but it's just one of those things like when it's out now, it's like the single player thing is ready now. Let's release it, make a little bit of extra revenue so that way we can pay the people to continue working on it.
That could absolutely be the case, and of course it is a mobile game, so there is a monetization feature. They have what I think it's called the Gold Pass, And of course, you can buy rubies. But at the end of the day, I have put $0 into Mario Kart Tour, and I've not been tempted. There is no pay to win.
No, you cut
here.
out there. You stopped it by the end of the day. I don't know if you went on after that. Or...
And this is part 1 of fucking Discord. Discord, please stop being a jerk. I'm back.
Okay. You cut off now by the end of the day.
At the end of the day, it's not pay to win. It's pay to, if anything, you can get more experience with the gold pass. So in theory, you can cut down on time. But when it comes to actually getting the scores in the courses, the gold pass does not help you with that at all. It may enable you to get a driver or a glider earlier than other people, but it won't enable you, just on that alone, to get the result you need.
I don't know. I mean, like, that's how, wasn't it like the Super Mario World run or something that came out too, and you had to pay like a certain thing in order to make faster progress? I don't remember. I remember the game, but I don't remember the name of the game. Because once you beat it... I think
it was Super Mario Run. I never played it.
Okay. Because, like, once you beat it, that was it. You couldn't reset. You couldn't restart. You just redid everything, and they didn't really add much to it. So... I don't really know how I like just the idea of a mobile Mario Kart game just doesn't set right in my stomach. Because I'm going to compare it to... I
feel like... Yeah, I definitely see how comparing it to actual Mario Kart game would be an issue. I think if you look at Mario Kart in a year, well, I guess. I was gonna say if you look at it in a year, they'll have a lot of characters able to be unlocked, but you won't have those unlocked if you just started in a year. Because what they're doing, at least in the early, you have these ranked courses and you have themes. Like the first 2 weeks of the game coming out, you had a New York theme and you had certain courses and stuff. And then after the first 2 weeks are done, it went to a Tokyo theme with different courses and stuff from the other games. And they added characters to it because they're still adding characters in. And a big example of someone that's missing that you cannot play yet because it's not in the game yet for people is Luigi. Now, Luigi's coming.
Luigi, wait, hang on. You're telling me my homeboy isn't in the game?
Your homeboy is not in the game yet.
That is so disappointing.
But he will be.
Is Rosalina in the game?
Rosalina was added with the Tokyo tour introduction. She was one of the characters added.
Okay, see, and it makes me mad because there's different courses in the app, I know, but they refuse to add new courses to the console version, and I just really want an update. They update Smash Ultimate, they update all these different things, but they do not update Mario Kart. And I your boy just needs like new content. I don't care if I have to pay an extra $30 for it. If they came out with a DLC for Mario Kart, I know that I would drop the money down for it.
Discord. Why? I don't understand. So, for the recording's sake, I just want to add this excerpt in, because this is probably going to happen like 15 more times, and it's really stupid. Discord is broken right now for the voice chat, for whatever reason, and someone theorized maybe it's my headset, but it makes no sense that it would be my headset when I go from voice connected to the orange. Oh yeah,
you cut out again right in the middle of... You cut out again in the middle of you saying that you're going to cut out again.
Of course. That part's not on Discord. That's my 4G. That's a separate issue. But when it comes to me just completely losing audio, I don't think that's a headphone issue because it hasn't been happening and it doesn't happen with other apps. It just happens with Discord, and it's when I go from voice connected to connected. That's when the switch happens. It's, I'm not a fan. Discord needs to fix their crap.
Discord can be super buggy. I will admit that. It is better on, I don't know if you're like using Discord on your phone.
I am.
Okay, Discord is a million times better on PC or laptop.
Well, when I get moved, I'll get to enjoy that. But
okay.
For now. I will be moved soon, by the way. Last time we talked, I wasn't anywhere near moving. I was hopeful for the end of the year. I'm still hopeful for the end of the year. It's not an impossibility. Closing stuff is almost done. So.
And are you staying in the same state, or are you going out of state?
I'm traveling like 20 minutes, and technically I'm going from Tennessee to Alabama.
Tennessee to Alabama. I don't know what the internet's like in Alabama.
We will have Mediacom. I don't know if you've ever heard of Mediacom.
Yeah, we have Mediacom here. I don't know what your speeds are though in Alabama.
It should be fine. My only worry with Mediacom, and if you have Mediacom, maybe you can confirm or deny what I read online, that they have a lot of outages.
I can confirm that. We used to run Mediacom, and then we got rid of it back when I still lived with my parents. Nowadays, since I'm in college, I get free internet, and the internet here in the city that I'm in has gigabit, so I have gigabit internet, which is really nice. If you don't have gigabit internet, you need gigabit internet. Like, you have not experienced the enjoyment of the modern age without gigabit internet.
You haven't experienced the internet in full until you have gigabit internet.
Yes, I mean, I've went through it all. I was born at the time when dial-up was ending, but my hometown still had dial-up for such a long time, so I could only read about how dial-up was ending, and then I saw the first smartphone, and then now here I am today. It was just the benefits of being a 90s baby. I saw a huge advancement, really, a lot more quickly than my parents and grandparents ever saw. They experienced it too, but it was all thrown at me just instantly.
Absolutely, and technology is still advancing all the time, especially with phones. Look at where flip phones were a thing a decade ago.
Oh, they're still a thing today. You can still buy flip phones.
You can, but that's not the thing to do anymore. Flip phones are where you go when you want to avoid social media and the internet. You get a flip phone so you don't have the temptation.
That, or when you when you go abroad, I always recommend buying a flip phone instead of taking your smartphone and just using a camera to take pictures with, because people steal smartphones. So a lot of people who travel will buy a disposable phone.
Plus, that's the secret agent move.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That way,
you gotta have your burner phone.
Absolutely. That way no one takes you. You can take your smartphone with you, but it's going to be one you want to leave in your bags. Because, people will pickpocket you in an instant if you let your guard down just for a hot second. So they just somehow know.
So, in relation to gaming, there is a study found. Are you aware of what the Xbox Game Pass is?
Isn't that where you pay a certain fee and then you get certain games for free each month?
Yes.
Okay, yes, then I know what that is.
A study was found, and Xbox Game Pass users are playing 40% more games, including outside of the Game Pass. An impressive 91% of subscribers say they have played a title they would not have tried without the Xbox Game Pass, while Microsoft has noticed members are playing 30% more genres than they did before joining. And I've heard the people behind the Xbox Game Pass kind of describe this as a game and modern Blockbuster type thing. Because you'd go to Blockbuster, you look around, and you find something that you want to watch or consume that you haven't yet, and you have this wide net opportunity to do so, and that's kind of what the Game Pass is representing, apparently.
See, I could see that being like, I'm surprised. I don't know if PlayStation does anything like that. And I know like there's like on PC, there's like Steam sales. Nintendo really doesn't give away free games.
God Nintendo, damn it. Fucking Discord. Discord, why?
Okay, so as I was saying, I don't know if like PlayStation 4 does anything like that. I know that Nintendo gives away points per purchase, and you can accumulate points, and each one has like a certain cent value. So over time, you can get enough points to buy a free game.
Yes.
But and there's like a lot of like PC has the best deals out of all the consoles because you can do things like Humble Bundle, and then you jump on and you pay $5 and you get 30 games, and it all goes to charity.
Yeah, if you want the best sale, and even like Humble Bundle, as you said, there's the charity aspect. Buying games on PC is the best way to go. If you want the best, most for your dollar.
Hands down. Absolutely hands down.
Have you played the Payday franchise?
I had friends try and get me into it. I just didn't like it because when they introduced me to it, that was when I was like doing a lot of like heavy competitive online gaming, and I was really more into the COD franchise. Like I played a lot of MW2, MW3, Black Ops 2, World at War, and I used to do online tournaments. So that was the game back in the day that really took up.
Really, Discord? Jesus Christ.
So that was the game that ate up a lot of my time was the COD franchise, and I was just like heavily into it, being so young that I really wasn't interested in a lot of other shooter games.
That's very fair. I've never played the Payday franchise, and I watch YouTube videos of it, but it seems like you watch the game for a couple hours, and then it's just kind of the same thing to me. It wasn't a very exciting game to watch, and I feel like most games are exciting to watch. And I think Discord has already broken again.
You cut out for a majority of that.
This is unbelievable. Jesus Christ. I don't even understand Discord. This is the worst it's been. Every night I talk in Discord, and today has to be the worst day.
That's how it always, like, that's how it always works for some reason. Something always goes wrong whenever you're, like, really needing to do it.
It's amazing. It's amazing, though, what happens with Discord sometimes. I wish there was an update that I could quickly update and it'd fix their stupid voice chat. Because I'm really... my patience for these issues. But Payday 3 is releasing in 2022 or 2023. I hope, for Payday's sake, that they do enough in the course of those years to make the game interesting for new players and not be the same old game that they've done.
See, but I know there's like always been like I know even though it wasn't my type of game, there was always such a heavy interest in the game. It had like a really strong standing community. So I know the community will purchase it. I don't know if they're going to be like, I don't know if there was a storyline or how it worked. Because they tried to introduce me to like the multiplayer aspect of it.
Discord, why?
But is it something they're going to continue off an old story, or is it going to be like an entirely new thing? And we lost Wes. Wes is gone. Wes is back.
I am back for the next 30 to 60 seconds before Discord inevitably breaks again. This is great. I'm so happy with Discord today.
Alright, so we left off at Payday 3, and me questioning whether it was going to be like a story, like a continuation of a storyline-based game, or if it's going to be its new thing.
God, Discord. Why? I can't even stay connected for a minute now. This is just bizarre. Thank you, bot.
Hi again, bot. We've missed you. It's been such a long time.
It had to travel from the East Coast to the West Coast to hang with us.
This bot's just going all over the place, man.
So, if Discord can be chill, change the bit rate, change the server region again. What were we talking about? We were talking about Payday.
Payday 3.
And you were telling me something, but I couldn't hear you because I kept getting disconnected.
I was asking whether it was going to be, like, held on a... is it going to be, like, a continuation of the past story, or is it going to be its whole new, entirely new thing?
I have no honest idea. I don't think we're close enough to that point to know. But what do you think they should do with Payday 3?
Well, considering I haven't played anything Payday related, I would say do a whole new thing to introduce people. So like you can like throw in like the Easter eggs and stuff, but like I don't know any of like of what it's done in the past previous games.
That is very fair. I definitely can agree that you should do some new stuff. That way you can hook in new people instead of keeping to the same old, and that causing people to feel kind of meh about your new game. But since we're still like 3 to 4 years away from it, it'll be interesting to see what updates we get on Starbreeze's Payday 3.
Is it going to come out for the Switch? That'd be a cool game to see on the Switch, because they're coming out with a lot of new releases on the Switch. They were originally doing Overwatch for the Switch, but they canceled it, which sucks. But is that going to be something Nintendo's going to try and jump into the bandwagon with? Are they just going to try and like convert games?
I don't know. I think the Payday game is on the Nintendo Switch right now. I don't know if it's Payday 1 or 2, but I'm pretty sure one of them is on the Nintendo Switch.
Possibly. I haven't looked for it.
Well, Riot has announced that League of Legends will be coming to mobile and consoles. It should be noted that it is not a port. They are fully rebuilding the game from scratch, and it's going to be slightly different. Some champions and some skins straight up will not be in the game, which they are calling the Wild Rift. So, I've never played League of Legends before, but if it's coming to mobile and it's free, which I assume it will be, because I'm pretty sure the PC version is free,
yes,
I will definitely give it a try. I look forward to giving it a try, just as finally experiencing what people are talking about.
See, like, I have friends that competitively play League of Legends. I could never get into it. There's just so much going on that, but I don't know. I'm kind of surprised they're not doing a port, and they're taking out a lot of it, apparently. So,
perhaps, a port would probably be easier, maybe, but at the same time, they've been coding for the PC version for like 10 years now, 10 plus years, so maybe porting something like that would be a lot of trouble compared to just rebuilding it from scratch. Or it'd be about the same amount of work, and this is just what they chose.
It just might be of what they just chose. It just might be easier because, like you said, the files might be so big that the phones couldn't handle it. But maybe we just need more powerful phones. You know, we don't get a lot of gaming phone. We don't get a lot of gaming phones. We don't get phones that are built for emulators and actual games other than something simplistic. I want to see like a phone that can handle a full-fledged game. Like, I know like some games you can plug a PlayStation 4 controller into your phone wirelessly or with a cable. But I just want to see like a new gen phone built entirely for gaming that can handle these games on a close to full scale port.
You know what'll release when that happens? You know it has to release when it's available to play.
What's that?
Skyrim will come to the Android and iOS when phones can handle it.
Spyro? Spyro's a good game.
You gotta re-release it as many times as possible to get the maximum.
I haven't played it in so long, and I know they just made a remake for it. Like, they remastered it. Nope, we lost Wes.
I thought the West Coast was treating me well, but then it suddenly stopped treating me well.
I mean, you've been coming in fairly clear for me though ever since you changed your bitrate.
Yeah, that probably helps the 4G, but I don't think that's gonna fix whatever the actual Discord issue is. I think it's on their end. I don't really know what difference it'll make if I go from US East to South to West to... I think I've tried Central, East, and West. I don't think US South is only going to be the fix.
I don't think so. It kind of just varies. And like I said, it gets better when you get off of mobile. Because mobile is kind of buggy. Mobile is very buggy.
It is. So... I guess we will keep trucking along, and I'll probably have to keep disconnecting. That'll be fun.
Well, that was the longest time that you've been able to stay in a conversation.
I mean, just last night, I was staying in for long periods of time. I've not had it be as bad as it's been today. Today's been the worst it's been.
You were still in.
No, I couldn't hear you. When it does that, I can't hear you anymore.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Which maybe could be a sign it's the headphones. I just don't think it's the headphones. God, I can hear stuff in every other app. I don't know. It's weird. I don't understand.
So what's the next topic that we have for today?
The next topic after League of Legends. Going back to PC, for Volition just confirmed that they have found the Saints Row 2 PC source code and will be fixing the game on Steam, making it work through Steamworks instead of GameSpy, and will receive the previously exclusive DLC.
Gotcha. Is it currently not out on Steam?
It is, but it's very... not optimized. The frame rate's super bad. Everything's just kind of really buggy with it currently.
Gotcha.
And they never fixed it. But apparently they found the source code, so someone is dedicated to fixing it now. A part of the team, so that's good.
That'll be good to see. The Saints Row series is a really fun series to play. I've played that one. I haven't played it on PC. I played it on console back when I still played Xbox.
I have played moments of a Saints Row game, but I've never actually played a full Saints Row game.
Oh, excuse me. I don't know. Like it's fun. I just like it because you can literally take... Yeah, like one of the weapons is a melee weapon, and it's just a giant dildo. So you literally go around just swinging a dick everywhere. Which I don't know if I can say that. I don't know if I can say that in the podcast or not, but that's what it is. You can't deny it. We're going to talk.
Can.
Okay, I was going to say we're talking about an M-rated game here. How can I not mention the M-rated material? So,
hey, you can have a lot of creative outfits in that game.
Hey, I mean, that weapon just adds a whole new meaning to the saying, when in doubt, whip it out.
Exactly. When in doubt, whip it out and then hit people with it.
Absolutely. We're talking video games here, though. Don't do that in real life. I don't recommend doing it in real life. Airport security will not let you take dildos on your on-flight carry-on packaging. You got to put that stuff in checked.
Yes. Because if they x-ray it and they notice it, it's going to be awkward for everyone. So you have to embrace it. And you have to be like, yes, this is what it is, and this is what I use it for. Are you interested in joining? And then they'll be like, no thanks, move along. And then you're good.
Well, see, and that's probably why it's items like those why they probably wear the latex gloves, man.
Very fair. There's a lot of stuff at the airport you probably don't want to touch.
Oh, let's face it, some people like to smuggle drugs up the butt. So, I mean, gloves probably come in handy for stuff like that, too. But...
Well, I mean, you could always just use a selfie stick to get it out.
I don't know. I don't think selfie sticks exactly work like that, because if you reach up to a certain point, you'll accidentally take a picture.
Well... how many people can say they've taken a selfie from that angle?
Oh, geez. Well, probably a lot of men in their 40s, because you have to go to the doctors at some point to get a colonoscopy.
Very fair. But this is a trend we're going to bring to the younger audiences.
Yeah. Why
wait until you're 40?
I mean, technically, I'm speaking to the 18 and older audience here. But technically, you could be any age and stick things up your butt from 18 plus.
This is a skill that unlocks when you're 18. You get a notification and everything. A letter in the mail. Don't you love every year when you grow older and then you get a letter in the mail talking about what you can do now at this age?
It definitely helps.
Yes.
If you don't know what you can do at certain ages, just Google it. The world will tell you a lot of things you can do when you turn 18. Most of them will. And then when you
turn 21, you can start drinking in the U.S.
Yes. 24, your brain fully develops.
But you've already drunk enough alcohol that you've already damaged that, so too late.
Yeah, there's no going back. I've probably killed quite a few brain cells in my day, so.
Very fair, very fair. Huh. So, what is the most money that you have spent on a video game?
Oh, geez. Probably about $120.
What game?
It was like a special edition Assassin's Creed 3, and I got I used to be really into the Assassin's Creed experience, and that one had all the DLC. It came with a special edition case, which I didn't open and is still not opened. I opened the game because I wanted to play the game, but I'm like, the case I'm going to leave sealed because it's metallic. There's a special, there's a code in there that I was never able to grab, but I wasn't about to unpackage that because I wanted it on my shelf. And it's got the map and everything in there. And yeah, it was a fun game. Very fun. I had to buy the DLC again, but it was totally worth it just to see it sitting there in the condition that it's in.
Very nice. The reason I bring this up is because I read a story about someone that paid a lot of money on a game. Can you imagine spending $150,000 on a game?
It depends on the game. And if I had that type of money, maybe I could spend that much. But for the meantime, with my, the financial situations that a college student finds themselves in, I don't see myself spending that type of money anytime soon.
Well, that is very fair. A person spent $150,000 in microtransactions for a Transformers game.
For what console?
I think it was, I don't know, I don't recall it saying where they spent this money. But, because it wasn't from the person's side of view, it was from the developer of the game that talked about, man, someone spent $150,000 in microtransactions. That is above and beyond.
That's ridiculous.
I'd say you have the game.
Microtransactions are definitely the way to go. If you can put the ability of it in your game, because people buy the game, and then on top of that, they're going to be inclined to buy even more in the game.
Oh, Discord. That should just be the title of this episode, is Oh, Discord. Why?
That's just going to be you should just do an entire single recording session and list it as like a mini podcast of you just dissing Discord.
I mean, I have the audio of me complaining every time I get disconnected. That's the thing.
Just go through every single podcast and just make a highlight reel of you just cussing out Discord every time.
Because they won't listen to my feedback anymore. For years, I've been trying to get them to add certain things, like being able to flip a table on mobile, but apparently they don't find this an important use. They'd rather waste money on the Nitro Game Store, which has come and gone.
You probably can find a table flipping simulator.
Yes, you can get the emoticon, but I want the feature that's on PC, the slash flip table, to work on mobile. I've been requesting this since literally 2016, and they've still yet to do it.
I just flipped it for you. Don't worry. I got you.
Yay! Flip all the tables.
I didn't even know that was a thing, man.
It's slash flip table, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
you can unflip it too. Yeah.
That's cool.
Nobody wants to unflip the table. You just want to flip the table.
Okay, so you want me to put it back?
I've also determined it's when I leave Discord to look at my notes is also when I get disconnected most of the time. So that's fun. So my solution to that is I'm just gonna copy and paste my notes into a Discord chat.
That works too. Copy pastas, man. Copy pasta.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Can you seriously not put that in the? Can you not do that in mobile?
What?
Do the slash flip table.
Nah, you can't shrug on mobile. You can't do any of that. It's pretty lame. And it's such a it'd take a week of time if you had one person that was working on it. I don't see how it could take any longer to implement.
Yeah, no, I just tried it. I had to try it.
It is crazy.
That's weird.
So, are you a big Marvel fan?
Oh, it's marvelous.
Yes. Well, Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige has now been promoted to the Chief Creative Officer, which means he will now oversee Marvel Studios, Marvel Television, and the Marvel Family Entertainment. And what makes this big news is this no longer means you can have someone separate working on the movies and the TV shows. It's the same core person in charge of both now. So, in theory, the TV shows should start mattering more, which, I mean, with Disney Plus, they were going to matter more anyway. But hopefully this is the next sign of not having shows that don't matter.
Disney has definitely been doing a really good job with it, though.
Did you know Disney has accounted for 40% of the U.S. box office in the first 9 months of the year?
I would believe it.
Because, I mean, they've had, 5, 6 movies that have hit $1 billion?
Absolutely. Well, I mean, like, they keep buying out, they're making smart investments. They bought out George Lucas. They bought out Marvel. Like, it's only a matter of time before they buy out, like, Netflix and all these other things. Disney is probably going to be the leading company. Well, it pretty much is the leading company of the world, but it's going to, like, pretty much own close to everything. Like, you won't be able to buy... It's going to get to the point where you won't be able to buy, like, Fruit of Loom underwear without a Mickey Mouse head on the on the size tag.
No, I don't want it on the size tag. I want Mickey Mouse rocking the front.
Oh, okay. You want to ride on the crotch, man.
Yes. You have to come in the Mickey Mouse clubhouse.
Come inside, it's fun inside in the Mickey Mouse clubhouse.
Yes. Perfect. We've nailed their Brendan. We should be paid for this.
There we go. You just need to get the Wesocracy or the BS podcast sponsored by Disney. That should be your end goal.
I mean, I talk about Disney and Marvel most weeks, so yeah, they should pay me.
There we go.
Did you know the average ticket movie price has fallen to $8.93 in the third quarter?
No, I have not, but it's understandable because a lot of people can just turret the movies online for free.
And I feel like, for me, what we do with movies is we wait until it comes out on Blu-ray, and we'll watch it at home, in the comfort of our home, and watch it on our big TV in Blu-ray, and it's a good experience.
I mean, like, it's a good experience, but a lot of the times these days, you do not have to pay for a movie anymore. You can just literally go online and someone bootlegs it for you for free. And it's, like, up there for the whole world. And there's not really anything they can do about taking these sites down.
That's very fair. But at the same time, when it comes to piracy, I agree with the concept of piracy if you cannot legally obtain it. But, the streaming services, for example, okay, we're having a lot more streaming services. People are using that as like, oh, well, I'm not going to pay for all this, but I still want to watch everything, so I'm going to pirate it. That's where I would disagree with it.
Well, see, the reason why they can't do anything with it is because they're not making money off of it.
Yeah.
Did you know that the old copyright video they had back in, like, the early 2000s, where it was, like, people walking down an alley and it showed the thugs? You know what I'm talking about?
I do not.
Okay, well, I'll send you a link to it later. A lot of people will know what I'm talking about, but they used the music that they used in their video, they got sued because they pirated the music for their piracy video.
Huh.
Talk about ironic.
Yeah, truly ironic. Netflix has recovered from a rocky second quarter. They added 6.8 million subscribers to the platform. That's a lot of money.
Good for them. Dude, they're coming out with a lot of shows. Right now, I just got done binge watching Big Mouth, which is probably like one of their most popular series on Netflix, as well as Disenchanted.
Are you excited for The Witcher?
I will probably watch it. I'll give it a go.
I look forward to seeing how that goes. I look forward to seeing how the next live action Avatar: The Last Airbender goes. That's
I
going to
don't
be
even want to talk about.
controversial.
Wait, yeah, no, there's like that's something they should not do a live action of because they butchered it entirely the first time around.
They butchered it in a movie. I think this is supposed to be a TV show. I'm pretty sure.
Is it a TV
Is it
show?
supposed
Okay,
to be another?
I thought you
Is it
said
going to
live.
be another movie?
I thought you said
I'd
live
hope
action.
not.
I hope
It
they
is
don't do
live
that.
action. It is live action, but
Maybe in a TV show. Is it going to be based on Aang and Katara and all the original cast? Sokka.
I'm pretty sure.
Because I know there was like a huge demand for something in between Aang and Korra because we didn't get to see like the rise of the city and all of this other stuff. You know what I mean? Between The Last Airbender and The Legend of Korra. Or is it going to go to the next Bender? Because we have yet to see Bender, like stories from Benders in other categories, and since they like adapted The Legend of Korra into like the Steel Age era, imagine like what they could do after like a Steel Age type of thing. They could do something based on like a Renaissance or maybe like closer to modern.
Very fair. I'm thinking about a Renaissance, and I'm thinking of those earthbenders that have been practicing enough to be metal benders, so it's very few. And I imagine them just cheating in a sword fight. They just battle with the sword for a little bit, then they just kind of wave their hand, and then the other person's sword just breaks.
Or I'm the kind of guy that wants to see like the negative side. So I almost want like a thing where the airbender or where like the next avatar is close to becoming like super evil. You know what I mean?
I would love to see that.
Wouldn't that be cool?
That'd be great. He uses his power for evil. He manipulates everyone as he...
Yeah, slightly sadistic, kind of manipulative. Like, I want an asshole avatar.
Yes.
Avatar, the last asshole. There we go.
Do you want a reboot of Avatar, but you don't want it to be the same? Well, today, we offer you Avatar, the last asshole.
It just cuts to Aang eating Appa, man.
Setting fire to the cabbage guy.
There we go.
And his cart of cabbage. He uses his water bending to freeze the water that people are stuck in.
Oh boy, it would be funny to see, man.
Plus, if you think about it, all those bending things, there's so much like water. If you remove people's water, you're gonna kill people pretty fast. I mean, most of your body's water, so I mean, water benders could be pretty deadly.
The Avatar just has so much potential to turn like close to evil, but like go back to being the good guy at the very last second when he realizes that like he just fucked up.
I feel like that's why they should start as a firebender and have them go overboard with firebending.
There we go.
Burn people down, burn a whole village down on accident, and then they descend into madness. Something I'm not looking forward to, the Venom director confirms that Tom Hardy Venom is built into a crossover with Spider-Man. Now, I've read two different things on this, and honestly, I'm not really excited for either. Venom was an okay movie. I thought half of it was really good, and the other half was really meh. Maybe the second movie will change my mind on that, but I've seen people talk about maybe Venom gets introduced in the MCU, and I've seen people talk about maybe Spider-Man comes out of the MCU for a Sony film.
Yeah, I was gonna say
crossover with Venom.
I was gonna say which Spider-Man are we talking about here? Because like, there's just so many
Tom
Spider-Man.
Holland.
Okay, because I know Tom Holland said he wanted a Spider Into the Spider-Verse live action with all the Spider-Mans coming together. So like the original Peter Parker. So Tobey Maguire.
Tobey Maguire, yeah. Tobey Maguire was the best Spider-Man. I want him to go back to the edgy Spider-Man though.
Oh, like when he was like obsessed with like using the Venom thing.
Spider-Man 3, yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't like
That was
Spider-Man
when
3.
he was so cocky. He was great. He had all the confidence in the world.
Yeah, but that's not Peter Parker though. That's the thing. I mean, I can see
That's why into the Spider-Verse you want to have a dynamic. You can't have the same Spider-Man character all around. You gotta have different versions.
Okay, yeah, maybe him just still struggling with it or something. I can see that,
Yeah.
but
You can have the Sandman from that movie return, since he disappeared. He left in the Spider-Man 3 movie, and we haven't seen him since.
There is a comic in the Marvel universe where Spider-Man is going through like a weird transitional phase, and his body starts changing and adapting to match his powers more. So he grows like 4 more arms, and he has like 6 arms, and he's looking like yeah. So 8 appendages in total. So he's looking like an actual spider, and he's like freaking out, like why the heck is this happening? And he basically, because someone injects him with something, so he's basically transforming into an actual spider. And by the end of it, he's like covered in fur. He loses control of himself. He's got like all the eyes and stuff like that. It's really creepy, but super freaking cool.
I like Tobey Maguire's what's the dude's name? James DeFranco or whatever that guy's name was that played his best friend?
Yes.
I like that guy a lot more than the dude that plays his best friend for Tom Holland's movies. I don't like that character at all.
He's there for he's the comic relief, man.
I root for his death in every scene he's in. It's really dramatic. Any scene he's in, anything that happens to him, I root for the worst case.
I'm just excited to see where the next movie goes, because I'm not going to talk about it in depth in case anybody listening hasn't watched it.
No spoilers, but this won't give it away. But I was really excited about what happened at the post-credits of Far From Home.
Yes.
That made my day. I've been rooting for that to happen for a decade since. Yeah. I was really excited when that happened, Yeah, it was great. It was amazing. It's everything I ever wanted. That made the movie for me. Editing this part out because, I have to talk about it now, but even if it's just to you. I was so happy that you had the Daily Bugle come back.
Yes, I was waiting. I was so
excited.
I'm a little upset though, because I feel like if they're gonna do it like that, he should have had the job beforehand and maybe working as like a delivering paperboy or something, because Peter Parker's always worked for that company.
Well, unfortunately, the Stark life led him to not have to go down that path.
Yeah.
But I'm so happy they brought that guy back. That's all I've ever wanted.
They made him look freaking hilarious.
They did. And I don't know if you've watched the channel, but there's a YouTube channel called Toby in the MCU.
No.
It's a lot of short videos, and not all of them are hits, but I think it's hilarious. You just have Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man in different scenes.
That's awesome. I need to check this out. It's called Tobey Maguire what?
It's Toby in the MCU.
Toby in the MCU. Okay, I can remember that.
Yeah. So, California. My next 3 topics involve California. Now, I don't live in California, but apparently California was in the news this week, because I had 3 topics in a row that was California. Are you ready for this California overload?
Throw it at me, brother.
Alright, so California has become the first state in the nation to mandate later start times at most public schools. Middle schools cannot start until after 8 a.m. High schools can't start until after 8:30 a.m. Now, I need some clarification on what this means, because schools technically started at 8 for us.
Yes.
Does that mean you can't enter the school building until after 8. That would be good. That would be a good change. But otherwise, I don't understand how that's really much different than what it is now.
They need to make it to where school starts at like 10 a.m.
10. Yes. 10
because legitimately, like, a lot of students miss out on sleep because some will like work a little bit of a job after school. But the thing is that like a lot of youth need more sleep. The younger you are, the more sleep you need, and even science backs that up. We're brainwashing today's youth into believing that you have to wake up early, you have to just go, and you have to rush. They only give you like 3 minutes between each class. They only give you like a 10-minute lunch period. So you have to shovel down food. There's no time for social life in schools. And it's just a shame. And not to mention, like, don't even get me started on the lunch, man. The shitty-ass food. Man, just donk everything up. Like, school lunches used to be bomb in my hometown. Cause since we were a small school, the cooks used to, like, do a lot of handmade things. Like, they used to make homemade cinnamon rolls. But after the government changed a lot of things, they stopped serving them. Because it didn't meet the restrictions anymore. And it just blows. So a lot of people would go out and not eat. And then, of course, the school's like, you have to eat. And, you know, there's this whole fight saying, well, you can't make us. And we're not going to buy it.
Well, you know what? I agree. I feel like 10 is the optimal time. It really just is. When I was in school, the only way I got through it was by drinking a lot of Dr. Pepper. That was my cheat code to getting through it.
Oh, I slept through a lot of my classes in high school.
I was never confident enough. I don't know if I snore, and I didn't know, but I was not confident enough to risk going to sleep in class but being a snorer. So I didn't do that until senior year when I lost care.
Well, see, for me, high school was, like, I don't say it in a narcissistic point of view, but, like, high school wasn't really challenging me, and I gave up in school a long time ago. Now that I'm in college, everything is, like, really hard, so I don't sleep, and I'm actually entertained in my classes because I feel like I'm learning the things that I want to learn about and not, like, the forced agenda. But it definitely gets better in college. So if you're out there and you're listening in high school or middle school, keep in mind, it gets a million times better. And I know you hear that all the time, and you're like, there's no way it actually gets that better. Trust me, it does. Like, I can't be more real than that, other than it just does.
Absolutely, I can agree. Honestly, leaving high school was the best thing for me. I graduated high school. Don't let the phrase in. Seem like I didn't. But once I was done with high school, I was much happier overall.
Yeah, my quality.
I think that's what a lot of people needs.
Yeah, quality of life just goes up after high school, and then there's a little bit of a plateau in college because you're just kind of like, I really want to get out, and then after that, it shoots up a little bit. You hit that plateau, and then you find where you're happy and you're just loving life, and then you're just at peak performance.
Absolutely. California has also become the first United States state, redundancies, to ban animal fur products.
Really? I did not hear about that.
Yes, so animal fur products are being banned.
Well,
How do you feel about that?
Okay, so, like, are you talking about, like, leather and, like, sheep's wool and stuff like that? Or are you talking about food?
I would assume clothing is what I took it as. But...
Because like animal product too is like some people like they're like I don't know, like I know California is a really progressive state, but here's the thing: sometimes like people are still gonna butcher cows. So what are you gonna do with all the hides? You know what I mean? People are still going to make leather and sell leather. You're still gonna have like leather shoes and all these things. That's gonna decrease a lot of their revenue as a state. I don't entirely agree with it. I can understand banning animal cruelty. I will never sit there and condone animal cruelty, but I will forever buy cashmere sweaters, for example, because if you don't shear sheep, it's really damaging to the sheep. Sheep need to be sheared, otherwise they just get like it's bad for them. Legitimately, it's bad for them, and a lot of people refuse to realize that. You get like stupid up their heads up their asses activists in quotations because people are shearing sheeps, and they don't realize and don't understand that if you don't shear the sheep, it causes more harm to the sheep.
Absolutely. But, I feel like as long as it's done reasonably, if it's just like wearing animal fur, for example, I don't see why that has to be a thing. So, whatever. It don't bother me if it goes.
People are just going to Amazon it.
True.
If they really want it, they're just going to Amazon it. They can't.
Now, go ahead.
I was going to say, there's no way you're going to be able to stop all the mail. You're not going to check all of that mail. And it's kind of like an invasion of privacy anyway, so...
How much can you lift?
Okay, are we talking deadlifting, or are we talking bench pressing?
If you had to pick something up right now, what's the heaviest you're going to be able to pick up?
Probably around 200 pounds.
Well, you're not even a tenth of the way to being able to pick up a giant pumpkin weighing 2,175 pounds. It set a California record.
That's insane.
It is absolutely insane. How do you grow a pumpkin to be that big?
You just call upon the great pumpkin, man.
Oh, great pumpkin, please bestow upon me your greatest pumpkin creation.
It's the great pumpkin. It's... Shout out to all my homeboys and girls out there that understand that reference. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you're too young and you need to dive into the realm of Charlie Brown. The original Charlie Brown. The original, not the animated new one. The original.
Did they redo it?
Oh, but they had a Charlie Brown movie that they animated through DreamWorks Studios, I think it was. And it was funny, and it had like a little bit of the vibe of Charlie Brown, but it's not the same. You can't, like, when you grew up with the hand-drawn animation of Charlie Brown and the Charlie Brown comics and the Sunday Funnies, and it's just not the same.
I can definitely understand that. And that's what happens with a lot of stuff that gets remade. It just isn't the same.
It's not the same.
You can't recreate the same thing. Once you let it out of the bottle, you can't get it back in the bottle and then release it back.
But you know what they can remake?
What?
A lot of pumpkin pies. How many pumpkin pies is that pumpkin going to make?
How many pumpkin pies can a 2,175-pound pumpkin make? That has to be... How many calories would it be if you ate that whole pumpkin? I mean, obviously, you're going to gain 2,000 pounds. But...
I would say at minimum at least 3 pies.
That's
just
big pies.
That's a very minimum number there.
I mean, if your pie isn't 500 pounds, what are you doing?
Not eating enough pie. That's what
Obviously.
You're not.
Imagine that someone eats 500 pounds worth of pie and then they wonder, why did I gain so much weight? Well, I hope you haven't had Taco Bell recently.
I have not. I don't eat a lot of fast food anymore.
Taco Bell recalled 2.3 million pounds of beef for metal shavings.
That doesn't, Taco Bell's had a lot of issues, man. I love, don't get me wrong, I love Taco Bell. I don't eat beef. I only eat chicken and fish, so every time I go there, I get something with chicken. But they've had, a lot of recalls going on. And it's always something with their frickin' beef.
Very fair. I like to imagine that they had metal shavings in a part of it, but because they got it in a part of it and the machine's going to keep moving, they couldn't tell where it was, so they just had to get rid of all of it.
I mean, it's just kind of like machine and human error in the mix. There's nothing you can really do about it. You have to account for error. in your margins when you're like in a business. So especially in the food industry, if one thing goofs up, you're just out a lot. But I wouldn't think it would hurt them too much. It will put a little bit of expenditure in there, like, in the process of fixing everything.
Very fair.
But I feel like they'll be able to jump back on track and catch up fairly quickly, especially with the amount of people that eat at Taco Bell.
I agree. I still enjoy my 2 cheesy gordita crunches at Taco Bell.
Man, shredded chicken quesadillas. That's where it's at. That's where it's at.
I can see that.
Although, if I am going to go to a fast food restaurant, I am going to go to Burger King these days because I can get an Impossible Whopper.
Very true.
And those are actually fairly good.
Makes sense. I would not doubt that at all.
I've had better veggie burgers, but
yes.
fast food wise, if I'm in a rush and I just need something in my stomach, I can easily go there and just get a veggie burger. It's nice.
Yeah, take what you can get. You know what food you should not have?
What's that?
Nobody should have baby food.
Oh, you cut out.
Ah, Discord. You almost lasted to the end. Well, baby food is not what you want to eat.
I mean, it's not on my list of things to try, but rumor has it I ate infant.
You wanna know why you don't want baby food?
Is it because it's made with real babies?
No.
Okay,
baby food testing in the United States resulted to finding 95% of foods in the United States, baby food wise, has toxic metals. 95%. Really? Yes.
Should you just make your own homemade baby food at that point, man? I feel like anybody can eat. I feel like anybody could easily smush up some peas and bananas.
Yes.
Boil
It'll have
them
less
down.
Toxic metals.
That's crazy.
It is. So, if you have a baby or you are about to have a baby, do not give them baby food, you monster.
Or if you're just really hungry, don't eat the baby food.
Yes. If you're really hungry and all you have is baby food, do not pass go. Do not collect baby food. And head straight to jail, because that food is not processed at all. It'll be the most pure food you'll have. So, that was the last topic I had. So, what have you thought of this Discord full of issues episode of the podcast?
Well, I do want to say that Discord does not like Wes.
It does not. Not this week.
That was my
enemy.
That was definitely over 10 times. I lost track. I stopped counting after like 7. So.
Yes. It cost us to go 20 minutes longer than we were going to. And most of that's going to be edited out because, Discord.
Yeah, there we go.
Well,
but I just...
Tell everyone where they can find you.
You guys can find me on Twitch. It's going to be EvertD.ttv. That's EVERT, and then the letter D as in dog.
Yes.
You can join in if you play some Smash Ultimate or Mario Maker or even Mario Kart. We play a lot of those on the channel, so feel free, jump in. Let me know that you're from the Wesocracy. I'll throw out a hey, we'll talk, and we'll have a fun time.
Hopefully everyone has enjoyed this edition of the BS Podcast. If you enjoyed, make sure to share it out. Sharing is the way that this podcast is going to grow. Hopefully everyone has a good rest of the week. My name is Wes, and I think we are out.